Hello, Steve here. Welcome to Real Health. Who'd have thought health is about what we're eating? Join me on my quest to disseminate my go-to health regimen, the Health 44, my clumsy branding of eliminating 4 classes of food, introducing 4 classes of micronutrients. Bingo, bongo, health sorted. So thank you for your interest. Let's do this. Welcome, and here we go once again. You've clicked on today. What did you click on? Longevity compound fallacies. The reason why I'm suggesting making a call that longevity compound studies and the like are fallacies is that if we don't acknowledge what got us to living apparently to the age of 40 and then you drop dead, we all know the stats of the early 20th century where our life expectancy was around 40, and now we're living around 80. We've doubled our life expectancy. That's easy pickings. Reduce birth issues. Make birthing a emergency event. It's easy pickings. Infant mortality rate decrease, another easy pickings. If you reduce your infant mortality rate by 90%, you may very well get close to increasing your life expectancy by double. Stats have a way of turning our head. Even though we had a life expectancy of 40 around 1900, there was 25 per 10,000 people that lived as a centenarian, to live to be a centenarian. Now it's only 1 in 10,000, even though we've doubled our life expectancy. Right, so we've done the easy pickings. Now, with longevity and compounds, that's the going nomenclature they're using. The likes of mTOR, the Sertolin, Cert1, GDF11, IGF1, Clotho. Then you have all the procedures of the understanding telomeres. Telomeres is doing the rounds. Understanding some of the treatments, umbilical cord, stem cells and all that sort of thing. Yes, it's great that we've got these essentially people in the garage pushing the button, pushing the limits of all these different knowledge bases. It's getting warm in here. If we don't acknowledge, appreciate, draw comparisons on how we even got out of the primordial soup into multicellular organisms and into the caves, and here we are, so advanced. And if you're a creationist, how did we live to live almost a millennia and the like? If we can't understand how an unknowing peoples of a bygone era, yesteryear, in ancient history, and even beyond, even before that, they were unknowingly living to the age of 20, 40. And then all of a sudden we had science, and then we can live to the age of 80. Apparently 1850, 50 years prior to only living to the age of 40 and then dropping dead, not. There was a lot of human years lost in infant mortality rates and birth deaths and that sort of thing. There was many parts of the world where the life expectancy was 80 in 1850. Okay, so if we can't acknowledge that how the longest official lived person, the French lady that smoked and drank drank coffee, and what else did she not do healthily and live to the age of 122 or 123? If we can't acknowledge the unknowing peoples, how they got to live ripe old ages. Oh, but we know with Mediterraneans and the Okinawans and the Hunsas. Well, we don't. We're grabbing these concepts like connections, being spiritual, exercise, good food. They're more emotive. They make a lot of sense to us. Well, they don't really make sense. Because we can't observe something, we make sense out of something to create a study, to create a paper out of it. Just for some of the examples of those three population groups that have a pretty long life expectancy. Hunsas, half century ago, they had a lot of access to minerals in their soils. Therefore, the minerals in the soils, they end up in their food, they end up in their physiology, and they had a high incidence of centenarians. Let's pick on the Mediterraneans. There's Mediterranean peoples, North Italy, or is it South Italy? North Italy has a life expectancy in their late 60s. Yes, or that pasta. The Mediterranean people that drive up those averages is the Sardinians, and they have a diet heavy, full of meat, eggs, dairy, saturated fat, and that's just a quick synopsis, rundown, summary. Let's pick on the Okinawans. The Okinawans have this cultural thing where they have this group of 5 people. Always check up on those 5 people. When you're 5, you get allocated these 5 people. When you're 17, see how they're going. When they're 35, how you going? You didn't turn up to our morning tea. Let's go over to their place. Oh, I'm a bit sick today. Or they're there. They've got that sort of culture going, and that's pinpointed as a longevity importance attribute. And well, how would you explain the connections and the spirituality with the Mediterraneans? How about the Hunsas? They also have a high life expectancy, don't they? So these correlations are a bit together with the Okinawans. They've been followed for like quarter century. How they pee, how they poop, how spiritual they are. Oh, the men get out there doing their Tai Chi and whatever they're doing, exercise. The ladies are cooking up this great food, and a health savant would observe. Ooh, noodles. Oh, we should live on noodles. What are they putting in their noodles? And one of the things that assists in the Okinawans of having a longer life expectancy is unknowingly. This is what I'm trying to drive at. Unknowingly, they had access to more minerals in their food, and how they got minerals in their noodles was the ladies put ash in the noodles unknowingly, knowing that there was minerals in those ashes. It's not just carbon and the 1% minerals. Those minerals were vital unknowingly, again, in entering the physiology of those long-lived peoples of the Okinawa island. And the reason why ashes were added was for color, texture, just this, just tasted nice. Whatever rationale, reasoning that that they put why they did it. Well, yeah, it was for texture and taste. Unknowingly, that's how the Okinawans had a higher life expectancy. It's not going to continue because they don't live like that. Most of them. They have access to the globalized food supply chain. They will catch up. Well, the gap will decrease. I should have done that, where their traditional living, even though they still do the spiritual stuff and the connections and the Tai Chi or whatever activity they're doing, dancing and laughing. Oh, laughter makes you live longer. The Harvard, the 80-year plus Harvard happiness and health study would suggest laughter makes you live longer. Yeah. You can clutch at reasoning straws however you want, but if the unknowing can't be identified, and this identification is especially mineral access and consumption of, and digestion and absorption of, if that's not understood in how we even got to where we are, and when you start adding the whole longevity compounds and longevity science and longevity, do a lot of zone 2 and make sure you get a high VO2 max, grip strength, the flexibility. What else? Dr. Peter Attia would like to suggest the centenarian decathlon, where you can actually still have sex, carry a couple of shopping bags up 2 flights of stairs, get up unassisted, all that sort of stuff. I don't know what the decathlon is, but basically a few metrics in there. Don't break your hip past the age of 60. Depends on how robust you are, and how robust you are is how well you're nourished with the declared 90 plus essential micronutrients. 60 of them, 2/3 are in the minerals. It's not just the biggies of the potassium, magnesium, calcium, selenium, zinc, and all the rest of it. There's 60. Even things like holmium, arsenic, molybdenum. How all those interact will never be known, because there won't be $1 trillion plus allocated in the current research, academic, scientific complex. That's the sort of funding that's required to understand all this, with tens of thousands of employees and this and that study and all these different labs to be set up. That will never be allocated because it's not sexy enough. But it is sexy to have cryogenics and all the longevity compounds, researching. Did I mention telomeres? Shortening telomeres and all that. Yes, it's good. It's perhaps early stages of good garage tinkering stuff. But if we don't understand how we got here, and how we got here is somewhat known for micronutrients, then we won't get any further. All the genetic therapy that will come into the marketplace will not even light a candle to the benefits of micronutrients, and especially understanding minerals more. And because I have a high number of one-off listeners, because I present really shittily, here's what I do, what I prescribe for the populace. The Health 44. You get health by doing the 44. The first 4 of the 44 is elimination of 90+% of the supermarket. Get rid of your glutens, wheat, barley, rye, oats, buckwheat, and in recent times I'm starting to suggest no more grains. Rice, corn are the lesser evils. But anyway, that's just a quick nuance on that. There's further nuance descriptions with all those in many of the other episodes. But oils, sugars, nitrates, nitrites, they're the 4 categories of food. Out. then you bring in those supplements. We need to supplement these days. Our food supply chain is stuffed. We need to get in those 4 categories, the second 4 of the 44, the 4 categories of the micronutrients: 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 2 essential fatty acids. That makes up a core to at least work on. We understand that those minerals are declared essential because they are, well, all those micronutrients, all those 90 declared essential micronutrients, they're essential because our body can't make, especially in ample amounts, the amounts that we require of all those, even that we do make, our body can't, our body needs to take them in daily, dependably, digest it, absorb it. There's a lot of opposition to that sort of methodology, modality. Even naturopaths don't concur. But what I'm basing my regimen on is understanding how we doubled and trebled the life expectancy of our captive animals, our zoo animals, our production animals and the like. And but that's going south as well because we fail to embrace, don't have gluten in your dog food, for example. So I promised to be more succinct. I've lost the ability to frame an argument out of stumbling my way through, but I need to make all this a little bit less boring. So there you go. I've made it more succinct to my abilities. Sorry that I can't present better, but it's there. So until the next time, hopefully, thanks to the 2.2 regulars. Bye-bye.